everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another one of my Gay Gamer video podcasts. I know I just wore this shirt in a recent episode, but I'm wearing it again because I wore it because this weekend was Brooklyn Pride, which is awesome that we are now at a place where we can have events again. Obviously it was not what it used to be 2 years ago, but it's better than it was last year where there was nothing. So, there was no march, but there was a street fair, which surprised me. It was not as big as it used to be, where it would go for blocks and blocks and blocks. It was literally just a couple of blocks, and then another street going down by the park. But there was a couple of blocks, and they had, like, some booths, and I wasn't sure what they were going to have, because I was like, if it's that limited, I feel like they should probably prioritize the LGBT groups that want to be there, and not, you know, the guys hawking, you know, cell phone cases and sunglasses, and, you know, but they still had those as well. It was just like a smaller version. They still had a little of everything. You had your LGBT organizations, and you had your guys hawking cell phone cases and sunglasses, and you had the guys selling empanadas, and you had the one selling the sausages and everything. They did not have any fried Oreos. There was no Zeppelis or fried Oreos, which is a problem. Every street fair is required to have them. That one particular food truck. But there was also another street that went down where there were some more booths, and there was the stage where they had some performances. And I have to say, as delightful as it was to have Pride, I was also delighted that I was not too anxious. I was very proud of myself. I'm still, you know, getting used to being vaccinated and feeling safe in different various environments. And being amongst people, it was a little crowded, but I never felt like it was too crowded where there were too many people on top of me. So I was never super anxious about, like, oh, this is getting too crowded, I have to put my mask on, I'm getting nervous. There were some people wearing masks, most people were not, but I was still comfortable, because I'm outdoors. And then me and my friend Cam went to a nearby restaurant where we sat outside. I still can't bring myself to eat inside, that's just, I'm not there mentally yet. But we sat outside and we had some food. I had forgotten how expensive eating out can be at a nice restaurant. Drinks are ridiculous. I'd forgotten that because it's been a while. Like, the bill came and I was like, whoa! But it's great, and I'm very much looking forward to slowly continuing to return to normal. I'm still planning on seeing my family for the 4th of July weekend, which is where my Switch will finally be played portably again on the bus. And after that, I'm thinking of going back to the movies. I was thinking I might see Black Widow in 3D, because 3D on a big screen is something that's worth going to the movies for, instead of just watching it on TV. And then my friend Cam pointed out that, he's like, I don't know if I could sit in a movie theater for 3 hours wearing a mask. That would get uncomfortable. And I'm just like, I hadn't thought of that. Perhaps that's a problem. He's like, you should probably, like, watch a movie at home and just wear your mask just to see if it gets uncomfortable. And I'm just like, well, my mask is pretty comfortable. And then I was like, oh, you know what? The weekend before, I'm going to Massachusetts on a Greyhound, and that's like a 4-hour bus ride. So I'm wearing my mask on a Greyhound bus full of strangers, so that's not coming off. So I'm going to have to get used to wearing it for hours and hours on end. So sitting through a movie is not going to be a problem after that. If I can do the bus ride, I can do a movie. That's for sure. But I would very much like to get back to going to the movies again, because I miss going to the movies and seeing movies in the theater. It's one of my favorite things to do. As for gaming, it's been all Assassin's Creed Valhalla all the time. Well, not all the time, because I'm also playing Animal Crossing, of course. But yeah, I'm sucked into Valhalla. It's got its claws into me, and I am playing it. And it's delightful to play one of these adventure games where there's just so much to do, and it looks so beautiful, and I'm exploring, and I'm having so much fun finding new things, and having these adventures, and killing people, and I play for hours, and I don't even realize the time has passed. and it's great. And I've done some missions where I've had to be sneaky and assassinate people. They're not assassination missions, per se. I'm not meant to go and specifically assassinate a target. That has not come up yet. I'm assuming it will. But there were a couple missions where I've had to be sneaky. So that was fun, because that's a change of pace. Because right now, it's all been just raids and bloodshed and hacking off limbs. But here I got to be a little sneaky, be like, although one of them wasn't necessarily, it was kind of my fault that I had to do it that way, because it was either you bribe your way to the information with like 500 silver, or you sneak in and steal the information yourself. I didn't happen to have 500 silver on me, and the game didn't give me the option to say, I'll be right back with your money, hang on a minute. I didn't have it on me at the time, so it wasn't an option. So I got locked out, and I had to break into the camp and sneak around and find the information myself. So that was fun. It was a little awkward because I've just been doing so much hacking and slashing in this game that I'd forgotten about, like, okay, what's it like to sneak? This is how we sneak. I had forgotten how to sneak. And the guards get a little too close, then you gotta kill them. Hide them in the grass so nobody else finds them, move along. And then the other one was you had to attack a castle and find the queen, and they're like, we can just raid the castle, or we can try to do it subtle and sneak in. And I'm like, we're gonna sneak in, that's how we're gonna do it, we're not gonna just go killing everybody. And then as I was trying to sneak in, I got seen by a guard, and I heard Sigurd behind me be like, well, I guess we're not doing it the easy way, or whatever he said. And I thought, ah, crap, now it's just a big fight. But when I got to the top of the tower, and I was still sneaking, and I assassinated the guard there, I was like, I don't see any fighting going on, we're still sneaking. So I kept going. Of course, after all of the sneaking, and you find the queen and the whole thing, then it ends up being a big brawl anyway. And I'm just like, why were we sneaking if it ended? Why did you give me the option to sneak if it was just going to turn into a big grand fight again anyway? So it still doesn't feel quite like an Assassin's Creed game because there's not a lot of assassinating, but it's still fun, and I'm still enjoying the story. I finished the second major arc. I still don't know how far I am into the game. I'm like 25 or 26 hours in now, and I think I'm maybe a quarter of the way through the story. Maybe? I haven't checked a walkthrough to see, but I'm guessing. There's a lot left unexplored still. I'm maybe a quarter. Maybe. But I'm still enjoying it, even without the assassinating. One of my problems that I seem to be having is I'm still undecided about the weapons and armor system. They've changed and tweaked some of the gameplay, but the way they're doing the weapons and armor in this one, it's throwing me off, because I'm used to the typical RPG stylings where you have weapons and an armor, and then as you go through the game, they're like, oh look, here's new armor. It's better than the one you have, and you swap it out. Here's a new weapon. It's better than the one you have. You swap it out. Here's a new weapon. Oh, it's not better than the one I have. I'm going to keep this one and sell that one. You know, and you sell the old stuff, and you keep the new stuff, and keep getting the better armor and stuff. Whereas in Valhalla, you get armor, and then you upgrade it. You can upgrade it at the blacksmith to a new level that gives you upgrade slots, and then you use raw materials, which is leather and iron ore, to upgrade the slots. That makes it more powerful and it increases its stats. You can also add runes, which give it special abilities, like, you know, better critical hits or possibility to catch on fire, that sort of stuff. So it's awkward because I'm progressing through the game and it's like, here's a new set of armor, like here's a new chest plate. Oh, but it's not as good as the one I have. And I'm like, well, but that's because I've upgraded this one a few times. So, do I spend the time and money and resources to upgrade this other armor on the off chance that it turns out better than this one? I don't know, because each armor has different special bonuses that come with it, and you have to have an entire set of raven armor, or wolf armor, or bear armor. So, it's like, do I stick with the armor set that I have and keep these bonuses, or do I assemble another set and upgrade all of that in the hopes that, because that is, if it's a better bonus, maybe, but it's a lot of work to spend all those resources, and I feel like it would be, there. I don't know if there's going to be enough resources and money to upgrade all of the armor to decide which one I like best. So that's why I've been staying with the same armor that I started the game with, just upgrading it, and the same axe that I started the game with, I just keep upgrading that. I haven't found anything else. There was another axe that I got that I thought was good during a mission, and I was like, ooh, this is a really good axe, it's better than the one I have, and if I upgrade it, it'll be even better. Except for the fact that it was a two-handed axe, and I'm like, I really don't like two-handed weapons. I never have in any video game. I need to have my weapon and my shield. I need to be able to block. I can't have two-handed weapons. It takes too long to swing. It's not my thing. I need fast. So one-handed is how I do it. I never do two-handed weapons. They are so slow. I can't deal. So I'm still not sure if I like this new weapon armor system. The problem is going to come if later I don't have the right armor because it's not upgraded enough for where I am, and then I have to go and grind to get the resources to get the other armor up to where it needs to be. I don't know. We'll see. It should be okay. I don't think there's much difference between them, but fingers crossed. I don't know. The other thing is Eivor's appearance. I don't like any of the pointy beards, so I decided to get rid of the beard, but the clean-shaven look looks weird because it's too smooth and it looks not right. So what I discovered I have to do is remove facial hair, which is not clean-shaven because clean-shaven is a facial hair option. You have no facial hair selected at all, which gives you a nice scruff. But then I like the short cropped hair, but then in some lighting, the blonde hair kind of fades in with his skin tone, and it looks like the shadows are like dirt on the top of his head, and it's like awkward. So I'm still working on finding the right hair for him. I keep buying new hairstyles and trying them and not liking them. So I've been running with this short hair for a while. I think it's very rugged, and he looks hot. We'll see. I don't know how many varieties of hairstyles there are. I also don't want to change it from blonde to brown to red, because I liked red, but then Sigurd is red, and I felt like Eivor and Sigurd should not have the same hair color because they're not supposed to be related, and it would look weird. Visually, in my mind, this is how I'm telling the story. It's so unnatural and bizarre. I don't know why I'm worried about such things. It's a video game, but that's just the way my weird brain works. I also don't understand the point of the tattoos, because, like, you find new tattoo designs in the world. They're like these little floaty pieces of paper, and when you go to get them, they lead you on a little parkour chase along tree branches and building rooftops and whatever. And then you reach the end of it, and then you get the paper, and you have found a new tattoo design that you can bring to your tattoo guy at your camp, and then he can give you that tattoo. And the parkour challenges are cute and they're fun. There's one that I gave up on because I tried it, and I'm like, this is not, I can't do this. I keep falling, and no. I don't want this tattoo that badly. Because I also don't understand the point of the tattoos, because you're wearing armor, so you don't see them. Like, I picked tattoos. I found some really nice ones for the arms, and I found a nice swirly one for the chest, and I did it, and I took a nice picture of it, and it looks great, but then I put my armor back on, and, like, you don't see them. You only see the facial tattoos, but I don't want to give him big facial tattoos. He's already got one on the side, and I don't want to get some crazy facial tattoo that makes him look all weird and creepy. I want him to remain hot, and I don't find some of those tattoos, the facial tattoos right now, they're not hot. So, what you can do is you can equip the armor. Like, I equipped a helmet, but then I made the helmet invisible, so that I can still see his face whenever he's fighting. But he still gets the protection of the helmet, you just don't see it. So, like, I could make his armor invisible, and then he can just walk around bare-chested and still get the protection of the armor, but you'd see his cool tattoos, and, you know, he'd look weird. But I don't know, like, I feel like that's a little weird. Like, it's just like in Odyssey when I had Alexios running around in his greased-up loincloth from the Olympic wrestling match, and it was funny, and it was very amusing to have him running around talking to people all half-naked, mostly naked. But then, you know, it's like, then what? You know, it's like, it looked weird to have him fighting like that. It took me out of the reality of the game world that they were trying to create. So I sort of feel like Eivor needs to be wearing his armor. But then you don't see the tattoos. So then what's the point of the tattoos? I don't know. It's just something fun to play with. Because these Assassin's Creed games, they don't know how much stuff to throw at you. There's so many side quests and so many things to do, and I keep finding new things. Like the giant offering tower that I was like, oh, what's this? And I'm like, oh, it wants 3 rabbit feet. Okay. And I had to go slaughter a bunch of rabbits until I found 3 feet so that I could get a bonus skill point. But, poor rabbits. I felt really bad about slaughtering the rabbits. I really did, honestly. Because you don't always get a foot. So I had to keep killing rabbits until I got finally 3 feet. Then I could make the offering and get my extra bonus skill point. But I'm assuming these offering towers or pillars are wherever, scattered around the land. I keep finding all kinds of new things. The towers, the cursed places. There's a lot to discover. But thankfully, I'm still enjoying it. So come back next episode when I will have more adventures in jolly old England. Bye!